mic, it's okay. She off your mic,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun Kyari politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun Kyari politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun Kyari, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun Kyari politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This man not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Aha. Now you not done here. All these bad politicians, them we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want to make the common man get what he supposed get for this country. And I never hear something. Now go hear one. I need a touchlight every.
Thank you for joining me this evening from wherever you're watching from. Let me know if the audio is perfect on your screen and share the broadcast. Invite your friends and invite not your so friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun is live. I am sharing the video as well, so please do the same as you are joining. And yeah. We want to talk about the tragedy of leadership. Although people say you cannot shame the shameless, but we can remind the shameless about things that they should be ashamed of. Sometimes, consciously, we might awake them and get them to reality that the tragedy of leadership affects not just their leaders that have to fly 6 hours to go and get medical care. Even them that are praising them, they continue to be victims of the tragedy of leadership. How sick do you think Thiefnubu is? How sick do you think Lagos State is? And how sick do you think Nigeria will be? For some of you who are dreaming of having him as your president in 2023, dream on, but I might have something for you tonight.
And yes, we like Lórí YouTube. And yes, we like Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. And yes, we like
I also received the news that DOS, which is the Directorate of State of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, have suspended the weekly, every Monday sit at home. I haven't independently verified that, but we will find out before the end of the program tonight. Share this broadcast. Tell them Maiyegun is live. We're going to enter Lagos today. We will enter Lagos and we will see many of these Lagos Abobakus. I have something for you. Stay by.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súràkì. Àní ẹ̀ Súràkì.
Now, a quick announcement. I want to say a special thank you to all of you, my friends, who reached out to Age Nigeria Foundation, a foundation that is based in Ogun State and taking care of the aged people medically, mentally, and others, including providing food for them monthly to keep them company. They are among those neglected in our society today. And with the level that Nigeria has become, many of their children are battling with a lot. These old men and women have been left sick and they're more or less like abandoned. But with Age Nigeria Foundation that partnered with Maiyegun's Diary Political from April this year, 2021, and my friends, you have responded in kind, generously, that they have told me that they have received a total of 948,000 naira from us on this platform. I want to say a big thank you to all of you. What we plan to do was that since supporting people, not just talking about the problems of Nigeria, we also get to take time to look into other people's issues that we can immediately affect or continuously affect. Age Nigeria Foundation is doing a wonderful job that many of you are aware of. I am so grateful to every one of you who has reached out to them, and they still send their appreciation, so to say. So thank you. And to all my friends as well, I want to use this moment as well to say thank you to every one of you who have found a way of supporting Maiyegun on all platforms, on all fronts. You may not know what you are doing, but I do, because everything comes to me, and therefore I cannot thank you enough. My, premium members on YouTube, my friends, we decided that the only way we can keep this going is to support the platform. You did, and you continue to do that. Personally, I want to say thank you to every one of you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, do it. Go on to Diaspora Radio International as well. You can listen to this live. Thank you. You are the president of Nigeria in London for more than 2 weeks. They said they invited him for virtual education summit. Virtual education summit means that they could do it from Abuja. Thank you very much for that, Samuel. I just saw your comment there. Thank you. However, they said they invited Boko Haram to to London for education summit, something they could connect a laptop with frontal camera and connect, the part of it. But he was here. But there's also somebody who was here that you've been hearing about. At a point, they said he was dead. I don't usually, kind of want anybody dead, no matter how much we don't like them. Okay? Some people see them more evil than many of us. But it takes maturity not to really wish anybody dead, because nobody has control over that. You get what I mean now? We're all going to die, right? But they said he died, and then he didn't die. But he was going through a medical surgery. He was going through some medical, procedures. He did the first one. He did the second one. Within a month, he had 2 surgeries. The second one actually made him paralyzed, that he couldn't walk. You see all those pictures? It was just like bring him out, dress him up, and then just position him to take pictures. Then Boko Haram showed up. Boko Haram showed up, and only the Boko Haram's cameramen took the pictures you saw online of Thiefnubu. He had to stand up. Therefore, he had to hold a walking stick. They took the picture like that, just to show all of you who thought Boko Haram was going to just be, I'm talking about the Lagos Apobakus now, that you who thought the reason why you were going into alliance with the devil in 2015 was because you thought you were smart by dragging the Yoruba people into an arrangement that has now brought us wanton destruction, economic ruins, poverty, right? Selfishly, they thought, oh, maybe Boko Haram will just buy like Yaradua, so that Ikene Shatabandu, fake Pastor Ruga, can become president. Meanwhile, those ones who knew their own plot, they knew the plot of Thiefnubu for going into alliance with them, but they needed it just to balance things up and make Boko Haram the president. Boko Haram, when Boko Haram traveled, that time when Boko Haram became a vegetable, and it was in London for like 100 days, and Oshibade Ikene Shatabandu became the acting president. He was given all the presidential power. He did a lot of things. He sacked the grass cutter, Babashir Lawal, the one that used 242 million naira to cut grass. He sacked him. Meanwhile, that was the same guy that Boko Haram wrote 2 letters to defend that he is investigated, he is clean, that all the investigation people they should forget it. Oshibade sacked him. He sacked Daura. What's be that guy's name? I think his name is something Daura. You remember that former DSS guy? The one that invaded the National Assembly with, you remember that guy? So Oshibade sacked him. And within that period as well, the, the governing body for NEMA, he quickly put up a kangaroo one that he quickly made over 6 billion naira within just 100 days. All of this exercise of power was preparing like, oh boy, if Boko Haram should go where like Yaradua, now so it go be all of them that he gave power to, the power that they thought that they were holding because of Boko Haram will just go back. That was the permutation of Thiefnubu and gang. You know what they told? They said Boko Haram just wanted to be president. Ikene Shatabandu will be handling the economy, the appointment, everything, until when they change them for them. Cut the long story short. When Boko Haram returned, they vowed never, ever to ever hand over power or transfer power to Oshibaju. Even if Boko Haram is going to spend 3 years abroad, they would never transfer power to him again. Because then they realized that it was like a dream come true for the likes of Thiefnubu and gang to finally usurp the power. And you see these guys who are dealing with everybody today, they had their plan. They just needed a lie. And that was where Thiefnubu came in. To now show to the rest of the Thiefnubu gang that, Shebi, you want him to be president, Abi? Look at him. And yes, that is not even what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the failure that made two supposed leaders of APC, Egbekegbe, the ones that took Boko Haram. How many of you remember this? That took Boko Haram to Ibadan. And they told the Yorubas that they will build schools, they will build hospitals, they will build roads, they will create jobs, and they will make your electricity stable, and the rest of blah, 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 they told you. The same gang for 6 years couldn't build one single hospital that can actually take care of them. I mean, I went online because that's what I do most of the time, when I am not so vast about something and I really need to understand what this is, what this really takes. So I went online. I decided to Google how much would it cost to build a 120-bed hospital, which will have almost everything medical. Wherever you are, whatever your ailment, that center will take care of it with 120 beds and staff quarters, medical quarters, laboratories, and vast space of land covering about 300,000 square meters. I checked though, 120 bed. They said it will cost $215 million today in 2021 if you want to build one. So I probed further. How much would it cost to build 500-bed hospital, a tertiary hospital with 500 beds? Oh boy, what I found was that you can build 500-bed hospital with all the staffs that will be working there. I mean, building houses for all the staffs that will be working there, the laboratory, including all the machines, all the technological machines that you need in the hospital, medical stores, everything you can find in any hospital abroad, 500 bed. I checked it too. They said it's a total of, into 2021, you only need about $1.3 billion. No joke. This is you saying, okay, I have $1.3 billion. Whether it is cancer center, whether it is, mothers and children, mother and child center, name it. Everything will be there. 500 beds, $1.2 billion. So if you have 1.2 billion now, you can just say, I need a contractor that's going to build this up for me. And they will build it for you in 18 months, including the power that will generate the power that, the power plant that will be generating power to power the entire, it's going to be like a massive town. $1.2 billion. You have 6 geopolitical zones. Nigeria can afford to build one in each geopolitical zones. And Nigeria can make a hell of money from our own elite that goes abroad for those treatments. Nigeria can pay the doctors in Nigeria the best salary that you can come across, the best package ever. Then I just came down. I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't worry about Nigeria. Maybe we should just limit it to southern Nigeria. Or maybe we should just come down to state by state and what they have. Do they even have the money to do that? Then I stopped at Lagos State because the Thiefnubu, whose leadership of 22 years in Lagos is adjudged to have been the reason why Lagos is the best and the greatest, the biggest, well, not the biggest. I think it's the biggest slum in Africa. And people said it's a mega slum. It's not a mega city. 22 years of their leadership. Now, Lagos has the capacity to build one massive, gigantic hospital that can take care of all the people that traveled abroad and pay and spend hundreds of millions of pounds in the UK alone, hundreds of millions of dollars in America, hundreds of millions of euro in this Europe, entire Europe. That money can make Lagos State not just the richest state in Nigeria, can possibly make it the richest in Africa. Now, we are talking about creating wealth, Abi, and using the circumstances you found yourself to create. When you create solution, you also create wealth. Lagos State government, according to their record, the record which is what they gave to us, Lagos State government is generating nothing less than 450 billion naira a year. I know they pay salaries, they have to do other things and all of that. Great. Lagos State government is in debt. After Nigeria, the next highest indebted state in Nigeria is Lagos State with a debt of over 1.2 trillion naira. Now, let's say, what did they invest that money on? They used the money to build businesses that they borrowed the money in the name of Lagos State, used the proceeds of that money to further their own personal businesses that they never pay tax themselves, and Lagos State continue to fund that debt, and you, the people, will have to continue to drink agbo, continue to drink awokpa, ale, and everything to keep yourself fit. No, I mean, at least fit for the next day if you will survive it. Now, Lagos has that capacity, but they couldn't do it for 22 years. And this is why. Thank you so much, Tina Olafusi. I have something I want to share. And first, when they took Boko Haram, or in fact, let's start from Lagos State. We'll get to that when they took Boko Haram to Ibadan. Look at check this. Lagos State, how Thiefnubu looted Lagos State. And from all they have, from all they made, they are unable to build just one standard hospital. They will tell you, when coronavirus came, you saw how they quickly put up tents, put up this and that. They couldn't transform that into something that they can say, wow, maybe this is the time for us to actually build a real people-serving healthcare system. But this is why they won't build one. Okay? There's this article online detailing what they did to Lagos State, right? Under Thiefnubu, and those who carried out the subsequent rape of Lagos State and the Lagos State people, and those who copied them from other parts of Yoruba land, doing the same thing to our people. I just gave you an idea of what it will take to build an hospital, and also what it takes to fund it. I can break that down for you. But again, let's read this first. The rape of Lagos State. It's not new. You can read it online yourself. I'll read word for word. So, before they made the Boko Haram president. And let me also say this to you again. Some will say, well, how come they have not jailed him? How come the Code of Conduct Tribunal did not send him to court? It's because the system that they have in Nigeria will keep him, and they will jail him whenever they want to jail him. For now, this is part of the compromise of what they have on him. Things that will make him never to stand up and condemn the killings and the destruction of farmland, the killings of our people, and including how our people have become refugees in Benin Republic. That today, the reason why we never stand up and speak ever is because of things like this. And that's more reason why they never would let him be your president. I'll come to that because there's more. Thiefnubu's massive looting of Lagos, which is uncovered, the Surgeries, the Remi Tinubu connection. Now, the massive looting of Lagos State by the leader of ACN back then, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has reached monumental proportion. Yeah, has reached monumental proportions, right? So Tinubu whose companies recently cornered a multi-billion road construction job in Ogun State, has in his pocket all the juicy contracts in all the Action Congress states, the rape of Yoruba land. In retrospect, it might be difficult to come to terms with the facts that an individual could hold the entire Southwest to ransom. There is no doubt that Tinubu has succeeded in buying the Lagos state government, and he has done this using government funds. Whenever someone in Lagos begins to wonder where their fourth mainland bridge went, or what was the fate of the pipe-borne water project, or even where the schools and hospitals had vanished to, there is a silence that contains it all. The largest landlord in Lagos has done as he has pleased, and the rest of the state just has to deal with it. For instance, number 4, Oyinkan Abayomi, formerly Queen's Drive, Ikoyi, a 5-bedroom detached house on 1 acre of land, which was originally the Lagos State Governor's guest house since 1979, but which now belongs to Tinubu. The certificate of occupancy of the property, valued at 450 million naira, was signed and released to him by Fashola in 2007, shortly after he assumed office. Tinubu's residence at number 26, Bodilon Road, Ikoyi, was initially falsely presented as Ohando PLC guest house. Later, he purportedly bought it from Ohando and used public funds to rebuild and renovate it. The Lagos state government bought the property and paid an undisclosed sum to him, and thereafter gave the property back to him under the bogus pension bill he signed to law shortly before he left office in 2007. The property is now worth over 600 million. This was way back. This was like 6 years ago. The annex of the Lagos State, the annex of Lagos State Guest House in Asokoro, Abuja, was bought by the state government in 2006 for 450 million naira, purportedly to protect the main house from security breach. Shortly after Tinubu left office, the property was transferred to him under the pension plan he signed into law before leaving office. The 250 acre land, valued at about 35 billion naira, and strategically located at the Ajah Junction on Lekki Road, was initially meant for a general hospital, bracket that general hospital, a land meant for general hospital, valued at 35 billion naira 6 years ago. Maybe it's probably about 300 billion naira now. I mean, value of the land, inflation, and the rest of that. The land, 250 hectare of land. So they said, meant for a general hospital for the people of Etiosa local government, but was stolen by Tinubu and handed over to Trojan Estate Limited, a company owned by Deji and Wale Tinubu, to develop as Royal Garden Housing Estate at the expense of the taxpayers of Lagos. The 1,000 hectares of land, valued at about 75 billion naira, located at Lakowe near Abijo at Ibejuleki local government area, and given to Lekki Concession Company LCC, which is partly owned by Tinubu and Fashola, and being developed as golf course and housing estates by Asset and Resource Management Limited (ARM) as Adiva projects. The prime land of 157 hectares with 2.5 kilometer of Atlantic beach front, valued at about 10 billion naira, and stolen by Tinubu from the communities of Shiriwon, Igbekodo, Apakin, etc., in the Bejuleki local government, and given to Ibukun Fakeye, his crony, to build a golf course and luxury villa with little or no compensation to the villagers. In addition, Tinubu paid $20 million, 3 billion naira, as at that time, out of public treasury to Ibukun Fakeye to commence the project in late 2006. Fashola has since released additional funding for this project, which is not owned by the state government. The 14-acre Parkview Ikoyi Estate foreshore land reclaimed by Lagos state government is now owned by Bola Tinubu. While in office, he allocated to himself the former Strabag yard beside the Lagos State Secretariat at Alausa, Ikeja. The property is now being developed into a shopping mall. It's already developed now, as big as the Palms in Lekki. This is public property brazenly stolen and now owned by Tinubu, headed by Fashola and others that came after them. The choice property at Lekki Ekpe Road, on which he built and owns the multi-billionaire Oriental Hotel and the extension of multi-story car park beside it. Also, the multi-level recreation center by Mobile in Oniru Estate on Lekki Ekpe Road, jointly owned with ARM and Tuji Olowolafe. All these assets, valued at over 25 billion naira, were obtained without paying a kobo to the Lagos state government. Tinubu and Fashola sold the following prime Lagos properties to their personal friends and front. Prince Depo Eludoyin at very ridiculous prices. The 3.8 hectares of land of Lagos State Fisheries Office in VI, beside the Institute of Oceanography, valued at 3 billion naira. The entire Ogudu foreshore scheme, initially earmarked for a low-cost housing scheme, valued at 5 billion naira. The Ilubirin Housing Estate, which used to house Lagos State civil servants and judges up till 2007, valued at 2 billion naira. The former Julius Baja Yard at Oko Orison, Ekpe, valued at 450 million naira. Tinubu raised a loan of 4.7 billion naira on Eko-Akete projects, for which nothing was achieved before he turned around to sell the property to his Shaguri friends of Shaguri and High-Tech Construction Limited at a ridiculously low price at the expense of the taxpayers of Lagos. Tinubu applied to personally purchase the Federal Secretariat building while in office. When he couldn't get to buy it, he directed Fashola to stop the eventual owner of the complex to develop it. The complex is presently wasting away, courtesy of the Lagos State government. It took several months of us trading and underhand payment before Fashola could allow the new owners of 1,004 flats to redevelop the complex. Several other buyers of the federal government properties and developers of properties in Ikoyi, Victoria Island and Government Reservation Area Ikeja, GRA, were forced to succumb to the outrageous demand of Tinubu, Fashola, Commissioner Bosede back then, and other officials of the Lagos State Physical Planning Ministry, and were made to pay ridiculous amounts to private accounts before their redevelopments were approved. Those who refused or were unable to pay could not develop their properties. This is a major economic strangulation of property developers and has contributed largely to the skyrocketing rents in Ikoyi, VI, and Lekki axis. Tinubu converted all the plots of land where Lagos Polytechnic was located at Ikosi, near the old toll gate. He chased away the Polytechnic in 2006 and went ahead to allocate the choice plots to himself, his cronies, and political associates. The headquarters of Television Continental, TVC, which is owned by him, is located there. He deprived the youth of Lagos of decent education because of his greed. Because they eventually created the army of Agberos, who are now the army of Omotars, the Lagos Abobakus. You know what I'm talking about. He destroyed them. They are watching me right now. Tinubu solely sold the prime land on Aboyade Coal, Victoria Island, which was recovered from some allottees, to UACN Properties PLC. The amount of proceeds was shrouded in secrecy. Eludoyin, fronting for Thiefnubu, built the estate directly opposite Goshen Beach Estate in Lekki area. Thiefnubu's wife, Remi Thiefnubu, built the massive New Era Foundation Youth Camp at the junction of Eleko off the Lekki-Epe Express Road with Lagos State funds, and has now converted it to personal use. Thiefnubu owns the Farah Park Estate and the Beechwood Estate, both in Lekki. The critical care unit at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Lasuth. This is about healthcare now. The critical care unit at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Lasuth, in Ikeja, built and equipped with state funds, is now owned personally by Thiefnubu. He has put one Dr. Sikiru Tinubu, a supposed cousin of his, to run the outfit. It is run as a private unit, and the proceeds are pocketed by the duo. The unit charges its users exorbitantly, and most Lagosians can hardly afford to pay its high charges. Much of the revenue derived from fees paid by the state government for patients referred there by its general hospital. So they make money from that too, to personal pockets. Several prominent Nigerians in the judiciary, police, INEC, and other sensitive agencies have obtained prime land from former Governor Thiefnubu and incumbent Governor then Fashola, and then that's the Saleko Barack Obama, over the years without paying a kobo. Many of them are turned around to sell the land to third parties at substantial profits. Many top officials in the police, INEC, and the judiciary who participated in the 2003 and 2007 elections and tribunals in states where Thiefnubu has interest were compromised with parcel of free prime Lagos land and cash. If the Lagos State Lands Bureau could publish the names of the identities of beneficiaries of land allottees from 2000 to date, the scandal that will result is better imagined. Benga Shafa, who is then a senator, and Mrs. Awofisayo were the conduits through which these acts were being perpetrated. Both were also personally involved in various dubious land transactions on their own. Prime land and properties have been used to pay off public officials who are personally close to Thiefnubu and Fashola for jobs well done or for being privy to sensitive information, notably. A. Dele Alake, former Commissioner for Information and Strategy, was sold a whole house on Alexandra Road, Ikoyi, where he lived as official quarters at a giveaway price. Aregbemubo, Rauf Aregbemubo, Osun State Governor, then, who is now a minister, who was a former commissioner in Lagos, as well as Muiz Banire, also a former commissioner, got detached houses at Ladoke Akintola Street, GRA, Ikeja, for their good job while serving under Thiefnubu. Yemi Kadoso and Wale Edun, both former commissioners, were sold houses in Iru Close and another location in Old Ikoyi at giveaway prices by Thiefnubu. These were loyalists. These were boys who were loyal. They were able to know what Oga had and where Oga had money and what they needed to do to cover it up and the rest of that. But that is also not where we are going. It's just a reminder that these guys have pretty much like they have the whole world. They have choice land, they have land properties everywhere. They wanted it. They have almost everything. The guy is so much powerful, Thiefnubu, in Lagos, that his own company, Alpha Beta, is the one collecting taxes for Lagos state government. When they collect the taxes from everybody from Lagos, they will deduct 30% of it and give it to Thiefnubu and his friends in their company. They will give the rest to Lagos state government. Meanwhile, the one they are even giving to Lagos state government is boy, Ade Pointer, Ade Gator, Governor Pointer and Kill will still be there to redistribute it, which most of it will still end up with him. With all that greed, how much is $1.2 billion to build a healthcare system in Lagos State that can at least be a model that will serve the people? Give it back to you, all of you. Come on. I know that when we talk, you think it's because we hate him. It's not because we hate him. I don't hate anybody. I am not kind of a breed that hates people. I may not like you, and I will have genuine reasons for it. But I'm talking about their greed. which affects you and me. He can be in London for as long as he wants. The private jet that flew him to London is parked somewhere in London airport. He's paying. It's not a president, but he's paying right now for parking that jet somewhere in London. That jet that will take him to America, he will quickly have his surgery. They will fly him back again overnight to London to come and recuperate, to come and relax. Because the surgery is not being done in London from what we have. So we are asking, how sick is he that Lagos State cannot even treat him? I know some of you are saying, he's free to do whatever he like. I've been reading comments, but I'm not surprised. Listen, I am not in any way surprised. I would be surprised if Lagos Abobakus can just, for once, and say, man, it's true. Out of all of this money, out of everything they have, so it will only take $1.2 billion, even if it's going to be $2 billion. So it will only take $2 billion for any state in Nigeria to build a 500-bed hospital that is self-funded, like power generated there. You don't need the national grid or anything. I mean, just imagine that $2 billion. Even a private individual can build one and make a lot of money from it. But just think about a state that goes about to borrow money, to buy vehicles for police, to buy a bullet for police. And at the same time, there is no job, there's nothing. And look around you. They borrow money to do what? To feed their ego. And you pay that back. But just think about it for a minute. Like, they have everything. He's our leader. If not because of Thiefnubu, he's going to be the president. When he becomes the president, what do you think is then going to happen? Just that he will be your new Thiefnubu, your new Boko Haram. And what would you do? You will be praying for him. You will be going to mosque. You will be going to churches to go and to offer prayers. But when you are sick, what do you get? When you fall off the Okada, you're trying to earn a living on a bike, on a terrible road. There you are, no safety. Boom, accident happens. You've lost your spinal cord. You can't walk anymore. That's it. What are you going to become? A beggar? A liability on your family member? Who's going to fund your healthcare? Who's going to fund your medical bills and the rest of that? Just think about that for a minute. That if these people they can just be a little bit human. $2 billion. $2 billion we build hospitals for. And somebody said, and if they build it, how are they going to be funding it? Don't work yourself too much on this. I'll give you an idea. Let's say Ogun State. I have used this narrative before. I am from Ogun State. Ogun State currently generates between 70 and 80 billion naira every year. A very, very paltry sum because we are part of Nigeria. But Ogun State gets about 96 billion from Abuja, making it about 180 billion. Let's put it that way. Now, 180 billion, very, very, it's not even up to 1 billion, it's not even up to $1 billion. I agree. So they will need to pay teachers. They will need to pay salaries. They will need to pay this, pay that, and that, and that. Fine. Let's say Ogun State now decide to invest in healthcare for all. And Ogun State says from this 180 billion we make every year, yeah? If you break it into 12, maybe it's going to be about 12, 13 billion a month. Fine. How much are you paying as salaries? Maybe Ogun State is paying from their 13 billion money they get every month. Maybe they are paying 5 billion as salary. That's the state. not the private sectors who also have their own their own employees and all of that. Yeah. And we say, how many people are the civil servants in Ogun State? Oh, 50,000. I'm making up these figures now, okay? Just to give you an idea of how a state can successfully fund a medical system that can work for all, paid for by those who are paying and getting nothing now. Okay, you pay 5 billion from your monthly allocation to workers. How much are you deducting from that for tax? Well, we deduct 1 billion for tax. Okay, so that means 4 billion goes into the hands of the workers. Genuinely, yeah, 4 billion. Okay, Ogun State. And and they are 50,000. Yes, they are 50,000. Great. Now, can you make an arrangement where the workers will be happy to part with 10% of their money, salary, no matter what you are earning, and you can then use that as your own health care for your healthcare plan, and the state government will what? Will now double that money with another 10% of that money. So that means if you are earning 30,000 naira, and the state will take 3,000 naira every month, okay? State will also add 3,000, making it 6,000, and state will give their 6,000 to the health system, a body that is funding the hospital, paying the doctors. Now, if you now put the categories of earnings of people in that bracket, you may actually get up to another 1 or 2 or 1.2 billion from the 4 billion that goes into the pocket of all these workers. State, 1.2 billion. If you have an healthcare, if you have a big hospital that you guarantee them that they have 50,000 patients, and these workers also covers their immediate family members who may fall sick for any kind of sickness, they will be covered under this plan. Now that means somebody who is earning 30,000 naira knows that if he falls sick, he breaks his leg, they will take him to the hospital. They will fix that leg. He doesn't have to pay a dime. All he needed to show is that he has a healthcare card that shows that he's been paying. That's all he needs. Now, if a state says we will give you 1.2 billion, that doesn't mean that it's enough to run the hospital. No, I know. Now, then take a look at the private sectors who also have people who work. All of you are working in banks, working in different places, and all of you collecting your salary, and you have the opportunity of signing up for the state healthcare plan. And all you have to give is 10% of your salary, right? And your employer, or the people who gave you the job, the people who you are working for, there is a state policy that says once you sign up for this state healthcare plan, they have to also double it too. You will even be able to work for some companies that will say you will pay 10%, we will pay 30%. Come and work for us. For your healthcare plan, we'll pay you 30% of your salary every month. Do you get that now? Now, when you create that policy, it allows the private sectors to join, which means you can then build the patient base, those who will be using this facility from 50,000, or let's say a family. I am working for government and I have a wife and 2 kids. That makes us 4. So let's say you are working for government, you only have your wife and a kid, makes you 3. By the time you put the average number, you can say, okay, a family should be father, mother, and a child, or two kids. Now you say 4, that's 4 times 50, that's 200,000 people that will be using the facility all the time. Then you have another set of people who are going to come from the private sector that will also be using the facility, 500 bed with, and you know what that can bring? It means that you can have up to 10 billion funding for the health facility you have there, and it will be running profitably, and you as a government, you are still what? You are giving back a service that is saving millions of lives, creating millions of jobs, directly and indirectly. Trust me, $2 billion, multiple effect of that. Let's make a start of that at least. From the billions and billions they are stealing, from the billions and billions they are stealing. This is practicable, but they will tell you corruption will not make it happen in Nigeria, because those I am talking to, most of them, they are only waiting for their turn. Those who we are talking about, they have shown what they are. You see, those who are waiting to take turn, many of them are worse than this Thiefnubu and gang. But common sense, look at the multiple effect of that. You have a center, just one center. Meanwhile, you still have government hospitals, clinics, consultation, everything. They are still there. I'm not saying that you have one big hospital for the whole state. The population of Ogun State is about 5.5 million people. Yeah? But imagine if they have a bigger tertiary hospital that have they have 500 comfortable beds with hundreds and hundreds of blocks of flats for the staff, doctors, nurses, pediatricians, and every other kind of doctor you need. All of them in that place is a big city. If you are referred there, it simply means the local clinic cannot undo your situation. That will take, government of the state will be paying 1.2 billion. The rest of the state, including neighboring states, where rich people want to fly 6 hours, 8 hours to Germany, or more than that, or 6 hours to UK to go and see their doctors. Imagine a state building one starting with $2 billion. $2 billion in your naira, in today's naira, $1 billion. Let's say $1 billion is 500 billion naira. 1 billion, that's 1 trillion naira. Imagine a state that borrowed that and what it will make as a gain in the long run. Just imagine that. And then now see what the multiple effect of this can be. The jobs, 4,500 doctors, medical practitioners, they left Nigeria in the last 6 years. Do you know where they came to work in? They came to the UK alone. 4,500 came to UK alone in 6 years. And they will be working in these facilities I just told you. Some of them are just about 50 bed, 100 bed, 120 bed. I don't know if we have 120 bed in the entire UK. 80 bed, well, maybe we do. Big facilities, 120. But imagine building 500 bed that a doctor can live comfortably, perform his test, all the machine in it, all the, everything is there. He doesn't have to go anywhere. His family can live comfortably in a very modern facility, powered 24/7, and his salary is coming as long as the facility is running. Just imagine what the multiplier effect of that is. But some of you are waiting for them to tell you that they will what? We will work with you. We will build a nation that is not corrupt.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope. We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Just talk, all talk. Nigeria is a very, very unreal place, okay? The way I broke down what can be done is the way people who actually think to fix a problem. That's how they think. But you see these Nigerians who love those who lie to them. They will tell you, that is not, it's not easy that way. Why don't you come in and do it? But they know why we can't come in and do it. They know why. Because they prefer the likes of Thiefnubu and their way of leading them. So it's a mockery when you see some of these Buhari idiots, the Lagos Abobakus, these Oshogbo and the Surgeries. This brother do giveaway, do giveaway for us. Just do giveaway. Online beggars, as I call them. Nothing is doable other than what their criminal leaders tell them, which eventually will lead them to say, go and pray to God. I mean, somebody like this can win an election. I can't. And you know why? Because I can't give them 500, 200, a rapper, and the rest of that, and then talk like a complete moron that they will all jump up.
To come out and vote out PDP for good and make sure your vote count. This is a center of the culture of political focus and determination. We have no doubt if the Southwest Bloc understands and accepts this change, it will happen. So the ball is in your court. If you want to improve Nigeria, put your experience and determination, and God willing, it will happen. Whatever savings we will make from stopping corruption, we will quickly put in farming and mining. And we will start the commodity boards. Let us see the cocoa farms resurfacing since the oil is being ridiculed now in the market. What the APC will do is to make sure infrastructure is once more on the ground. NEPA, power holding owned company, and then the road, the express road, from Lagos to here and from here to Ilorin. This will be a great priority to APC. We have no doubt in your state government. You have seen it, you have experienced it, you promise that it will continue. For the rest of the country, especially the Northeast, security is the priority. For the rest of the country, job, open of
But today, when they ask where is Boko Haram, because soon people are now saying where's Thiefnubu? Thiefnubu too, because of health. You see, these guys are old people. They are not supposed to be deciding they shouldn't even be involved in critical decision-making process of a country that has 70% of young people. I mean, come on. But just like Boko Haram turned out to photo, Thiefnubu has also turned to photo, like,
Nigeria president now photo. Everybody go snap photo with that. So our president snap photo with the Bishop of Archbishop of Canterbury. He snap photo with the Rogers. He snap photo with this one. Now president now photo on a vote. Your president is now a picture. Photo. Not be juju be that. Not be when our fathers die for each other and we they care for them, keep them for house, they pour libation. You lose na prayer and say. Buhari boy, you Buhari prete. Onorusada, Bueno Rula, Chitombo, Arebo.
Your president now photo. So Thiefnubu has become photo. No joke. He has become a photo. That people are trying to prove to us that he's alive. So maybe they're gonna package him. Just imagine it for a minute, right? As a Yoruba man. Look at what Boko Haram has made of his own people. I mean, I know about Nigeria, but Katsina, they have been one of the most hit by this. Either you are talking about poverty or you want to talk about, what do you call it? Insecurity, this banditry and all this nonsense they have. Yeah? Boko Haram abandoned them They know they have been abandoned on their own. But just imagine it for a minute. We are now battling with the consequences of this fraudulent arrangement that brought these guys together. Now, if you now have to go for somebody who, you know, I don't know what's wrong with him, but the Boko Haram became somebody visiting Thiefnubu. I mean, how life change? We don't know what is wrong with him. I know that, you know, normally, if you just had a surgery and you have to stand up, you probably will need a walking aid, which is normal, okay? But we don't know what is wrong with him. They're not going to say it, yeah? In Daura, when you meet all these Daura morons, yeah? Some of them actually believe that somebody poisoned Boko Haram through the AC, through the air conditioning, what do you call it, unit, inside his office, inside Aso Rock. That is why Boko Haram ended up spending 120 days in the UK. Do you know there's some mumus who believe that? So now, Thiefnubu don't use Okpa. And, I mean, and they want him to be their president next in 2023. And when you meet any Lagos Abobaku or any Oshogbo Alumajiri or any of these ombud slaves, obedient fools or sophisticated morons they are, yeah, they think we are just trying to hate on them. We are not hating you guys. We're just feeling sorry for you. Like, how would you want to, like, subject yourselves to this kind of treatment again? You have no idea. These guys are not just selfish and greedy. They are also self-hating. They don't even like themselves. I wouldn't have all this power, all this stuff. And I mean, come on. I would still have to, like, go and fuel a jet to go and see a doctor in America. And they'll be flying me back and forth. 33,000 feet above. When they can just drive me from my house and to that place. Selfishness. Beyond what you can comprehend. But what we go do? Someone sent me this video. It's about taking on these guys, saying it to their faces. You know what I mean? Like, say it to their faces that you guys are failure. If you don't have anyone telling you, you may have people listening to you, making you feel like you are a leader and all that. You guys are tragedy. You are tragedy of leadership. And to be honest, nobody should be participating in any election again. I'm going to tell you something about that, but watch this.
None of that happened.
No.
When you left office, Nigeria was as reliant on oil as it had been before you started.
Now, Stephen, what you have read is correct, but what have been the result, you have not read. What was the result? When we came in, and we give you a few examples, cocoa production in Nigeria was 150,000 metric tons. By the time I left, it was 400,000 metric tons.
You know what?
Yeah,
You can quibble about the figures, but basically 90% of Nigeria's foreign revenues and 2/3 of its entire national revenues came from the oil industry after you left office, just as they did pretty much before you came to office. Structural reform is difficult in Africa, and you didn't achieve it in Nigeria. Look at your record on energy production. Look at your record on infrastructure, roads built, railways delivered. You did not do what you are now insisting Africa's many nation states have to do.
Now, Stephen, have you finished? Now, let me now tell you that you are wrong. I started a railway program. I even started the building. Those who took over from me, a railway program, a 25-year railway program to connect Nigeria. And that plan is what they are following today. But those who took over from me decided that they will not go on with it. And you see, if you build a bridge and somebody comes in and removes the bridge, it's not that you haven't built the bridge, it's that somebody has come and removed the bridge. And you talk about power. When I came into government in 1999, the price of oil hovered around $8 and $9 per barrel. By the time it got to $22 per barrel, we started going into power production, something we started 7. What will have taken us?
You have a great capacity for putting a very rosy tint on your record, but it's not me accusing you. If I may, Mr. President, it's not me accusing you of failing in your tenure, and I'm only judging you this way because you make so many claims to be a crusader for better governance, clean governance.
Because I did it. And you are not recurring, you are not dealing with what was done. You are dealing with what was
I'm dealing with the way Nigeria perceives you today.
No,
when you say, Nigeria. hang on, when you say it is necessary for Africa's governments to clean up their act today because corruption is corrosive at a time when population is rising so fast, be mindful of what the National Assembly said in November of last year when you lectured them about corruption.
They say?
Do you want me to read it?
Read what they say.
Lest we forget, they said, the person who introduced corruption to this National Assembly is Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. He birthed the Fourth Republic National Assembly with corrupt practices from day one of his administration.
Stephen, what they say, is it right or they are talking rubbish? Listen to me. When I took over, the first thing that the National Assembly sent to me, and they sent who was my national security advisor, is that whenever I'm sending a bill to them, I should send it with money. And I said no. If I send a bill to them and they don't pass it, I will still run the affairs of Nigeria.
Says, have you forgotten the sacks of money that were displayed on the floor of the House of Representatives?
Where did it come from?
Being used for bribes.
Where did it come from?
Well, you tell me.
Now you should ask the man who brought it on the table.
He says you, and I'm quoting him directly, now the grandfather of corruption in Nigeria.
I never gave anybody a dime. Never.
Why is it that so many Nigerians do not believe you?
Now, many Nigerians believe me. I wrote the EFCC investigated...
The anti-corruption watchdog, yes.
Investigated me thoroughly and came out with a report that completely absolved me of corruption. Completely.
The grandfather of corruption. The words of the National Assembly. Because I know, you know why?
Yeah.
Because they're fed up with you lecturing them.
No.
You claim they are corrupt today.
I will keep on lecturing them.
You know, they don't like it. They don't like it. They don't like what we are doing. They said you have to respect them. And I'm like, no. We're not going to respect criminals who have done a lot of damages to us. Who continue to point fingers. It's not me. It's those people. Not me. Not me. It's that person. Now, come on. We have seen the result of all they did. And when we say, don't participate in their elections, it sounds like self-destructive. As people will say, they will say, oh, you are just destroying yourself if you don't participate. Come on. Now, when are you going to stop living in denial that whether you participated or you don't participate, yeah? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't. And you can break it down into many pieces. Somebody was challenging me the other day and they said, Maiyegun, if you think voting doesn't change anything, look at Seyi Makinde. Look at war. I was like, come on, don't be naive. If you know the full story of Seyi Makinde, how he emerged, the process and procedure that brought him, the arrangement, the agreement, which is probably they are allowed politically, but in that of Nigerian climb, you don't want to pass through that stage. And even after he became the governor, right, you know what the limitation of his is, or are, so to say. So don't use him. Don't. The same crop of people who brought him, made the arrangement with him, are going to be the same people who are going to be in another room and say it's not going to get a second term until he gives them this or give them that. And if he doesn't, you and I can say goodbye to that good guy that you said won because people supported him. No. The system doesn't allow that. Those who control the system, they share them in different boundaries. And the only way to make a complete joke of it is to withdraw from it. They will produce their governor, they will produce all they will produce, but every now and then, they will be losing the legitimacy. They will be losing the legitimacy until when people have had enough. And they will be run out of town. But if you continue to participate, you are validating it. But it's up to you. People will always do what they will do. I'm not probably totally in control of that. But again, somebody says something that I think I would like to share with you. It is also a reminder of what brought us to this level.
All their children are studying abroad, all of them. They are all studying abroad. And we are here suffering. We don't have any job.
Hang on. I want to say hi to my friends on YouTube. Okay. Do me a favor. You guys are up to 2,000 right now. And only 500 of us did actually give that thumb up. Okay. You can watch this message from Mazi. Some of you have missed his voice. Some of you have missed his face. Some of you have missed this. You know what I mean? I have missed that too. But guess what? I have also missed this message. Most importantly, some of them are like evergreen. They don't go old like this one. Go on there and give me that thumb up while we watch this together.
All their children are studying abroad, all of them. They are all studying abroad. And we are here suffering. We don't have any jobs. We don't have hospitals. We don't have schools. When they are sick, they fly to London. They fly to London. When you are sick, this time they fly you to London. Because they want you to die. They want us to die. They took us together and said, we're not going to die. That is why we have come to restore Biafra. Yes. So we die restoring Biafra. Yes. There is no alternative. Yes. There is no other way to resolve this problem other than a referendum. Yes, sir. I think that the problem. Yes, only referendum can solve this problem. Yes. Not restructuring. Yes, not devolution. Yes, not fiscal federalism. Yes, sir. I'm going to finish up. Biafra. I think I'm sure.
Onye du IPOB, o meriwo n'Izu, onye ya Abba Kyari, mama Bahura, Unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Unapuri meri Nandi bu onye du IPOB. O meriwo n'Izu, mbiro ya Abba Kyari, mama Bahura,
Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three.
They win the war. Say Abba Kyari. That's why I'm going to go to Abba Kyari now. Your Abba Shank Kyari, Abba the tailor, Abba the debt collector, Abba the loan shark. They said 31 Muslim lawyers are going to America to represent him. You know, Nigeria is a complete joke, right? Well, it's a good thing. He will need his own legal representatives in America. But I'm happy that they are no longer pushing the narrative of the southern Nigeria are the ones who reported him to FBI. If there is time for them to actually report him now, my dear brother, excuse me, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear Biafrans, take a look at this. If there's a time to report Abba Shank Kyari, Abba Shank Kyari, Abba the tailor, Abba the loan collector, the report we received in the last 2 days has come up to say Abba Shank Kyari, the Hush Puppy dog, also participated in killing over 80 Biafrans, 80 IPOB members in the course of 4 months. And also, there are also people who got kidnapped. I told you about how they have been kidnapping, killing people in eastern Nigeria, in Imo State, in Enugu State, in Anambra, in Ebonyi. We have told you that many times because people kept reporting them and they won't stop because Abba Kyari and his boys were busy killing and maiming people in the name of looking for IPOB members. There are those who have been through his dragnet too, where they have to pay ₦1 million each. So if there's any time for the southern Nigeria to report Abba Shank Kyari, it should be now. But I'm glad that these guys know that, I mean, they are no longer pushing that you were the one who reported him. So I don't know if America will give them visa to go and represent him. I just hope many of them who are going to go, they don't have relationship with Isa Pandemic, who is a jihadist apologist, a terrorist apologist, who is in charge of the communication ministry of Nigeria. I hope if they don't have any link to him, as we speak, America, if you remember Abdulmutallab, that America airline bomber, Abdulmutallab, the son of a former First Bank CEO, man called something Mutallab. His father was the CEO, the owner of a First Bank at some point. You know now. His son, who wanted to bomb American airline, you remember him? He's spending life in jail in America right now because of his link to terrorism. And among those who trained him was Sheikh Gumi, one of those who trained Mutallab then. Abdulmutallab is in jail in America. Those 31 Sharia lawyers, they should tell them, if they go to America, they may not come back. Oh. Salisu, help me tell them in Hausa. Can you hear? At least you understand what I'm saying, Abi. Tell them, oh, we are not saying they shouldn't go to America, to Chicago, to go and represent Abba Shank Kyari. They said, let me tell you something. Because Nigeria is a joke, it's a complete joke of a country. There is a guy, his name is Rufai. I can't remember. Bide means something Rufai. The guy was a big fraudster in America. He's made so much money that he had to go and work for his mentor, the governor of Ogun State, Dapo, which I always call Dubious Dapo. Dubious Dapo is also a fraudster, fuel subsidy scammer in Nigeria, when they were probing those who stole oil subsidy money, that Abiodun and his company was fingered. But as usual now, they managed to gain power. Egberejo Lantern lost power. And Oshunbade Ikene Shatabandu became his godfather. And that's how they managed to pave the small way for him. But they have the compromise on him too. And that's why they will always remain as loyalists of these criminals in government too. Now, Governor of Ogun State, Dubious Dapo, appointed this guy, Rufai, from America, and gave him special advisor to governor on this and that, right? FBI now say, hey, we know this guy. We have been looking for him like Kosh Poppy. He's flexing, government official. PA to governor, UBP. I'm not in government for money. They just needed the government to cover up their crime, the fraud they are doing. So they can be doing it under the cover of a government official. But FBI don't know you as government official or anything, no. Whether you be super cop or super crook, it no matter. Oh boy. And so the guy just mistakenly go America. Boom. They grabbed him. They said this guy is wanted for being the ringleader of those who stole over $400 million within just few months when coronavirus started. You remember when Americans were saying, I received my own check. What do they call them? My friends in America. What do you call that check that Donald Trump signed then last year or so? You remember? I can't remember the name again. You remember when all of you were collecting your check? Bidemi, special advisor to Ogun State governor, was also collecting his own check. As all of you now, they collect your $1,200 then. They were collecting that $1,200 in 1,000 places and thousand places, over $450 million. That's how much he collected. That guy alone and his gang, they can borrow Ogun State part money to build hospital. Stimulus, God bless you. That's the fraud they committed, though. Now, the guy is in America. He's facing judge. And the first thing that FBI came out, they said they have 94,000 documents. Wait, see. 94,000 documents. Investigation of him. Wait, what he did. Investigation. They said 94,000 pages, documents. That's how much the case they have against Rufai. And they are talking about Osh Poppy. The one that they put different arrangements in all over the world, looking for him, monitoring him, taking pictures, taking account, taking everything. And Abba Kyari is his tailor, the Jakar that killed for him. And you say you have 31 Muslim lawyers because you initially you wanted to make it a religious fight, a criminal, a killer wearing the Nigerian police uniform. Got caught up in his crime, and you decided to make it a north versus the south. You wanted to turn it into Muslim versus Christian. Tell them. They said in that document presented to court in America on Alhaji Abba Shank Kyari, is that they have convincing evidence that if they present them to this court, it will take weeks before they go through all of them. But they just want the court to say, maybe they arrest them. And you say you have 31 lawyers from the north. You think say they are going to go, who is going to lead you? Tanko technicality, Babala welfare, your plane driver, Tanko the plane driver, Chief Justice. Is that the one that will lead you there? So go and read what? Sharia verse Kini, verse what and chapter Kini. In Chicago, most of them, you will just see all your lawyers. Now from court to prison, you say, you see this one, you see these 3 people. They went to these 5 people. What am I even saying? You see this 15 out of these 31 lawyers. They travel to Iran. You travel to Iran in 1992. What do you go do for Iran? Say, no, I am here to defend my client. Are you mad? Who is your client? We have been looking for you. Come on, the boss suit. Boss suit, You better tell them. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just telling you that you are reading some part of waiting they tell you say Abba Kyari did on social media, and you are saying yes, I know he has right to his lawyer. Everybody has the right to his lawyer, but carry all these 31 lawyers from Nigeria. If you return 3, and if you say those 3, they'll be virgin. They call them virgin. This one a virgin terrorist. This one you know what I mean? This one a virgin terrorist. This one a virgin criminal. You know, to carry weight. He won't cry, never cross border. And from interstate, interlocal government. Pack the 31 of them to America to go and defend a thief. By the time they open book for them, if you manage to get 3 or 4 of them back, you're not go do, what do you call it? You have to eventually probably go and do Thanksgiving. I'm not joking. It's not a joke. Because you think everybody is as mad, as you know, as confused or deliberately stupid as many of you are in that part of that world. You know what I mean? But that is that. Until at the what do you call it? At the orientation camp. Now orientation camp, oh, and so this happened. They were laughing. Hey, cows! You know, it's now the Cowgeria, the Cow Republic of Nigeria. That's what it is. And when things like that happen, you probably want to call the police, won't you? Well, they are busy elsewhere because they had another emergency call, and this is what they are doing.
At this time of the night.
Police is the wood escort there.
Police, Jesus.
Police escort cow.
Jesus. Now they see
Police escort cow.
Ha. And they be kidnapped like 2.
So don't bother. Like we say here in Glasgow, no bother. You won't be able to call the police. You're on your own. That is what they have made that place. Then I picked up a video, which I also want to, you know, add to this. We are talking about selfish people, selfish leaders, leading the people who are more or less like programmed morons that consider every kind of expose as that of enmity or competition and the rest of that. The people who I was telling you about money, right? Okay, maybe I am the one who probably shouldn't put it better. If you are looking for where, for example, where Boko Haram can build a very big hospital that can take care of him, that when he won't have access to the Nigeria private jet to take him to London, to everywhere, he can easily just go on his Keke Marua to that place and get treated, Abi. But no, they won't do it. But yet, they will face you boldly and say, they have done this and they have the money.
Another page. Yes, the other one has to do with the Desiani jewelries.
Yes.
Are they still in your custody or they've been turned into cash?
No. They are in our custody. It has not been auctioned yet.
So the jewelries are. So, I mean, is it safer to keep them in your custody if they've been finally forfeited or to just auction them?
No, they have been finally forfeited, just like houses and vehicles, etc. And the commission is looking forward to the presidential committee to auction all those items and then deposit the money appropriately into...
When did you get this forfeiture order?
We got it, I think, sometime in 2019, if I remember, yeah.
I mean, given the financial situation of Nigeria, shouldn't we auction these things fast and put the money to use?
You know, a lot of processes hindered, a lot of events, you know, hindered us to proceed with that, as you are aware, sir. We couldn't move on to some of these things because of certain things that happened, but now that the federal government has set up the committee, we are praying that
You.
They set up committee to look into the Zani money that some of these guys already used to cash cruise on social media. They've already told us that the Zani has returned the $90 billion. And every day, I just laugh at myself how educated people choose to be so stupid deliberately, and they are so confident about it. $90 billion, and there you are. There you are. Somebody once said, do you have proof that people were paid or terrorists were brought in by the politicians who are also telling you today to pray to get over insecurity? Then I came up with this video. Somebody who can tell you to your face right now how some of this insecurity started before it got to this stage. It's now out of hand completely, but people were being paid to kill people just for nothing.
Pressing on me, then I follow those flying and I go with them. Then they lead me to Niger. After to Niger, they lead me to Cameroon. After Cameroon, they lead me back to Nigeria. Then started saying that they have clashes in Nigeria about 3 states that they want to. They have about 4 states that they want to collect they
want to capture you.
They want to capture, being Plateau, Taraba, Benue, and Nasarawa. But those malam that I was doing something with them, they say they blocked people that can choose to sponsor this state or this state or this state. So the one that call me choose to sponsor at Taraba, we should capture Taraba state. Then when I go to finalize the connection that they will give me before the fight will start, I tell them that they should give me 1 billion. Those people say that the money is too much. They started to bargain the money with me. They give me 50 million. And I say 50 million is too small. They should give me at least 750 million so that the Taraba state have Adabarak, have many security inside. So they should give me the money so that with the security we can make understand with them and know how the fight will go on. So those people say that the price is too much. Then give me 350 million. Then me, I refuse to fight on 350 million. Then
did you collect the money?
No. When I refused, they didn't give me because the money that they said they will give me 350 million was too small to fight against the Taraba state.
This was at
that happened, and you know the story. After that, thousands of people have been killed. And those who were able to collect the money were doing the job anyway. The Boko Haram, unfortunately. I just thought I should share that with you. As part of what brought us to this level, failure of leadership, tragedy of leadership. I want to open the line for half an hour before I go tonight, which is, if you check your screen, underneath there, you will see the number. And also, I'm going to leave... I want to leave the details of Age Nigeria Foundation to everyone who might want to be to support them. Okay, so use that number underneath there to phone in. It's a WhatsApp call only. Okay, where is that? Hello there. I think I have my first caller. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Hello. One sec. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly.
So sorry, yeah. You are live, please. Your name.
All right. This is Ahmed speaking from the United States.
How are you tonight, Ahmed?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing fine. What you? Seriously, man, you're something else. Like, if I'm watching your program every time, I need joy because I will just be laughing. God. Which kind of joke these people call it put themselves to? Like, everything I just cruise. And they cruise to many law every day. That cruise is taking away life. But they still look it like normal and intelligent people that they think they are intelligent in that country, that they will tell you, like you used to say now, what do you want us to do? You are asking when you are seeing options on ground, but just because of greediness and stupidity, some people will just choose to perish. Just from their own, they choose to perish. And those people that have been abroad, only wishing Lola abroad, they will still keep quiet. Just because of their will I call them wicked, or what would I even call them?
They are also selfish too. It's all selfishness.
You're selfish. You're enjoying all the dividends of democracy in your government, or what do we call it? You're enjoying that in another man's land, but you don't want that to happen in your land. Now, slave you want to do till you die, which kind of wahala be this?
I tell you, Baba.
And you dey another man country, you dey talk, you dey feel talk, they brag say, waiting, you dey support Buhari or you dey support Thiefnubu or one animal we don't even get, so we say na dead body they won't bring come for people, and you go see one support.
Everybody go come turn to prayer warrior for another 8 years. May you know that.
God see to Thiefnubu ọwọ́ yín ló wà bàbá. I saw a video today where about is it mi ò mọ̀ bóyá àwọn local government chairman ni àbí báwo tó ń ṣe no kì í ṣe pé no àwọn kan wọ́n ń ṣe swearing in fún Thiefnubu support group or something. Wọ́n á ní ṣé èwo tún lélẹ́yìí bá ń pèrè ọlọ́run ṣé and they said something like we take something mo ti gbàgbé ó tẹ but nǹkan tó ṣàmì ní pé nǹkan kan tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú organization will remain inside. Yes. And they promise not to take it anywhere, like they are under oath. That means only àwọn nǹkan kan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. There are some things that happen.
They are recruiting them for 2023. The man they are recruiting them for is the man who is now using a walking stick. I mean, no be juju be that, Ahmed.
And that one pass juju. That one you don't enter another level. That one don't pass juju. That one don't pass juju.
I'll take one. I'll take a few more again. Okay. Thank you so much, by the way, for joining me tonight. So, yes, one sec. Let's take that. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. Your name?
Good morning. This is Paul.
Oh, Paul. How are you?
I'm fine, Maiyegun.
Great. So you are live, please.
Well, Maiyegun, first of all, like I just want to thank you. You even cracked us up, like Ahmed was saying earlier. Really. This morning, because I wonder what 31 Sharia lawyers want to go and do in the US. I wonder what they want to say. Whether the laws in the US is now it has now turned to a Sharia court. Yes, Then I wanted to just advise my brothers and sisters. Anytime you see someone commenting in the comment section, please just ignore. Just what you see them is they are in support. Tinubu fought somebody. One dummy was writing Tinubu support. He fought for Yoruba people. Where was MNK when he was fighting with Nadeku? I typed there that look. So today I want to man wo wèrè sàn.
Yeah.
Ọmọ pé ó ní àwọn wèrè kan tó máa ń kó sọ́tọ̀.
Special case.
Àwọn yẹn àyè wọn. Yes. For those of my brothers and sisters that don't understand, what I said was that if you remember those that teach mad people, there are some mad people that they always have a special their own treatment is beyond, it's not normal treatment. Once you see anybody
extra.
Yes, now extra. Once you see anybody trying to defend Boko Haram, trying to defend Tinubu, instantly just divert them to that center. Their madness is sorry. Just push them to that and put them inside the box there. Don't stress yourself in trying to who is saying, don't stress at all. Their madness is curable.
So right, Paul. I'll say something about it now anyway. But thank you very much, Paul, for joining tonight again. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Maiyegun.
You're so welcome and stay safe, Baba. So I believe this is Osita. I'm not sure. Hello.
Yes, one name.
One name. God bless you. See, give me 1 minute. I want to say something about what Paul said there. How you get to know that indeed there are some people who have, we've talked about Buhari-titis. We've talked about Buharitism. These are kind of, mental disorder that nobody have any idea of. Okay. So, you see, when you have people who are suffering from what they believe that, is their own making, is their own what have you. So when you engage them and you are talking about head, they will start talking about leg. When you say, okay, but we're not talking about leg, they say, but let's talk about leg too. It's okay, fine, let's talk about leg. When you meant to join them talking about that leg, they will say, what about the neck? Say, but you said we should talk about leg. You're not giving me any info on that. You're going back to neck. Yes, but let's talk about neck too. It's a kind of a rare mental disorder that we'll find out when Boko Haram finally, sink. Sir, sorry for keeping you waiting. Just for the sake of our listener, tell them your name.
Okay. Yeah, this is Osita. I'm calling
Osita,
from
sir.
And, yeah.
Osita, you know one thing I'm going to ask you for once again, sir, right? Please do me one great favor, right? Don't let me run into trouble with my friends tonight again, because you are the kind of caller that they want you to say everything, even if it's going to take you 20 minutes. But please, walk with time with me today.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to shut you up and then they will be like, Maiyegun, don't stop shutting them up. You know what I mean? But you have a 5 minutes to yourself.
Okay. What I want to say is in line with what the previous caller talked about, because I went for a function yesterday, and believe me, we started talking about what is happening in America. From there, I said, let's talk about what happened back home. Charity begins at home. Even if we're Americans, but at the end of the day, we know where we come from.
That's right.
So we were now talking about Tinubu and Buhari and all this thing, and somebody said that Tinubu is a great man because he knows how to build up generation, build up people, empower people. And I was so sad. I kept quiet for some time, and I was looking at this guy, and I asked him that, come, what is the meaning of empowerment? What is the meaning of building up a generation? He was confused. Is it that you go to the motor park and get a house and build up a house, and the house becomes a billionaire that doesn't have no industry? A house becomes a billionaire, he has no business, no physical business, nothing. As far as Nigeria is concerned, it's all about physical business. We've not gotten into the scientific kind of business.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is a physical business. You have nothing. And I said, I do not know where the empowerment is coming from. Anybody that is a great man, a great politician, the first thing that you do, look at what Obafemi Awolowo did in his time. Look at what they did in their own time, because he did it first and the other people tried to follow suit everywhere in their own capacity.
That's right.
If you cannot empower people through education, and how are you telling me you are empowering people? It is crazy. I said, this is the same failed system. And I remember, I now realized who I was talking to.
I was talking to somebody who the brother too is part of them. He used to be in the Senate. Saraki, their gang. So that was the immediate younger brother I was talking to. So I now said that you too, you are part of that system. If you do not know the meaning of empowering, go and check your dictionary. If you cannot give anybody quality education, if you cannot tell somebody that I remember there's this Dive is a poem that we read in secondary school. It says the soap seller hops away. If I cannot wash my inside, how can I wash my outside? That was the hungry man that was saying that.
That's right.
Give me food before you start talking about me to buy soap and wash my clothes. You cannot empower somebody to have education, basic education, so that that person will grow to know his or her right, his responsibility in the society. How can you now tell me you are empowering somebody? That is it. That's the reason where we come from. You will see somebody with PhD answering that to that one that all his only cow that he knows. Only cow. That's what he knows. Then you are telling me you are empowering people. I said, oh, you got it wrong. I said, that man that you see is a capital failure. And all of them together, they are embodiments of that failure.
They are
tragedy. What do you think they can produce? Their end product will always be failure. That's the reason I told somebody, I do not know the reason is at this time of the year, at this time of the town, somebody like Buhari is coming, the IPOB is coming out to talk. Bunch of failures. And because people leave what they are supposed to do, they start thinking about all these people. These people are now looking like celebrities before people. So it is that time we have to educate ourselves to know that we are the present our generation, that we represent the future of the people who are yet to be born. We will continue with this message.
We will.
Let us look at it carefully and let us have that belief. There will be no 2023 election or whatsoever until we come to the table of a referendum.
We have to really push for that. God bless you, Sita. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for calling in again tonight, okay? I'll take another call. We have just about, let's see, we have just about 10 minutes to go. Hello. Hang on, let me see.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening, Ma. How are you?
How are you? Yes, I'm blessed. And thanks for this wonderful program.
Thank you, Ma.
I'm going to follow the footsteps of those two people that have talked earlier before me.
Right.
Firstly, the issue of 419 Abba thief, the most corrupt, whatever we want to call it, going to America, and those Muhammadus that want to follow him, please make them follow him.
I would love to see it.
Because 31 of them will go to America. Make them do their will before they go.
Advice, oh.
Because if they don't do their will, somebody else will inherit their wife and their children before they come back. Oh.
I hope they are.
And Abba Kyari better wake up and realize that there is dead road in America. Oh. Because that man may end up on electric check. How could FBI? These are not Nigerian police.
No.
These are not 419 parading themselves as a super cops. These are people that are well trained and they know their job in and out.
That's right.
Now, they find a clear evidence of somebody that has been robbing the Americans. I'm telling you, all those 419, they can rob Nigerians. But when you begin to rob Americans, including some Western countries, it is a crime.
Yes.
And when those 31 so-called Mumumadus, I just can't stop laughing. You see those 31 Mumumadus that are going, honestly speaking, they will be lucky if 20 of them are not in prison.
They have no idea how America work. They have no idea. If you have visited Iran, all these things that they do and get away with in that northern Nigeria, they will be picked one after the other, and trust we will help them identify them anyway.
You see, what is it called? Their brother, Osh Papi, committed a crime, and then he lives in Dubai. He was transferred from Dubai to America.
That's right.
Isn't that something that should be ringing in their head?
Okay.
That they can only hide. They can only run, but they cannot hide. Most of them, they will think that this is Nigeria. They've never been out of Nigeria before. Some of them are already on the list, wanted list, unknowingly. For crime connecting to terrorism. By the time they go to America, man, make them do their will.
I think Nigeria is just a mess. Like Nigeria is like a place of yam pepper scatter. Everybody is mad, ma. Only few are actually gaining access to the camera to show us their level of madness. If not, who would defend a thief? Even in Sharia, who will boldly come out after what they have read and defend it? If the person no get mental issue, but we'll find out. I want them to go.
They must have mental health problems. Let them go. They won't come back. And Abba Kyari better pack his bag, because that is the end of him. By the time they put him in there for 20 years, when he gets inside, those prisoners in America, they will firstly beat a lot of him. They will beat him like Bamba Boot.
And especially if they get to know that he's part of those who stole over $600 million from them. Okay. We'll see. They are
waiting for him. And on top of this, these so-called Yeye Madus, the two old fools, especially that one with walking stick, Ojugo, the man is packing his bag. It's at the last leg. Nigerian youth needs to wake up. Whatever they've put in their brain, they need to wake up that it is about their future. Why the country is the way it is today? It is because it is being run and led by a lunatic and a whole fools. Calling himself whatever he wants to call himself. Because they are still in the era of analog. So, and the world has changed to computer era. Most of these people cannot operate on modern computers. And now do you want them to develop? And now do you want them to develop a country?
I mean, you are so right. You are so right. If not, if these guys are modern, they would not even mute the idea of shutting down Twitter. I mean, who does that in this modern day and time? If not for these selfish, greedy people who don't care about others.
They don't. They just don't. And everybody, and that is why the country is a joke. They go there, everybody believes when I get there, it's my time to make money, it's my time to steal. Everybody that are running to go there, 98% of them are going there just for their own personal gain. Nigeria is like a business. They've taken the country to dry cleaner and they've left it there. If you go on eBay, you will see Nigeria being on eBay.
For sale. Thank you, ma. See, I'll take one last call, and thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, ma. You have a good evening. Okay?
God bless you.
And you too, ma.
And you.
Yes. So I have a last caller. This is my last call, and I hope I'll be able to do this tomorrow again. Okay, but you don't know if this is connecting. It's hanging on there. Sorry, bro. It doesn't seem that the call is coming through, so I'm just going to take this. Hello there, sir.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. Good evening. You are going to be my last caller tonight, and you have about 5 minutes. I hope you use it well, sir.
Thank you.
Your name?
Thank you. Olaoluwa lorúkọ mi.
Sir Olaoluwa, sir. You're
live. Yeah, well done.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you are doing a very fantastic job. And God will continue blessing you.
Amen, and you too.
Yeah. First of thank you. Yeah, first of all, I wanted to talk about the analysis you did about hospital last time and about. Okay. Now, let's put it this way. It's only because we are blessed with lazy leadership, arrogant leadership, and corrupt and wicked leaderships. They are lazy. That's why Nigeria legislation level is at the procurement level. Okay. So now, in other words, let's take us for example. We are at the procurement level. Whatever we want, we need to go and procure because we can only operate at level 1, okay, which is producing doctors at the administrative level. Okay, so the second level and third level, we are not there yet. In other words, people, the scientists that will do the research for the medications and all this type of things. So the hospital infrastructure and all this type of thing is on the shelf. We can buy them.
That's right.
Spending the time, we buy, we create the capacity or borrow the expert.
We buy the knowledge.
To put us
to transfer knowledge and all of that.
Yeah, to take us to the next level, the way Chinese and other countries are doing. Borrow the expert.
That's right.
Okay. So now, but we are blessed with lazy leadership, arrogant and wicked. Okay. So they don't want to do all those things. Now, go back to all this Tinubu and people that they are waiting for Tinubu and co. The truth of the matter is this: even if you go and borrow Donald Trump from America, combine him with Boris Johnson in England, okay, and put them there in 2023, they will fail because Nigeria problem is a system.
It's the system.
So, and that system can never produce any good. So what that system, under that 1999 constitution, what that constitution is for, is to produce blood. And that blood is flowing. So it will be a very good for, it will serve every one of us. It will serve every one of us. So now, please, let us break this country down into pieces. It's getting too late now because the truth of the matter is this: any arrangement you made with this Hausa Fulani, they will continue growing the population to destroy it. And then when they have too much populations, okay, they will tell you, we are the majority and you cannot create your leader. And once you cannot create your leader, you cannot have progress. And that is what I want Igbos, Yoruba, and others Southerners to start thinking today. There will be no solution to Nigeria problem. No solution to Nigeria problem because every one of us knows that. Okay, for example, now everybody we know that if you have $1 billion, you can have at least 1,200 megawatts of electricity. During the time of Obasanjo alone, Obasanjo spent around 16 billion, which I put around 24 billion. When they say something, so put extra with it because these people are thieves. They won't tell the truth. Obasanjo spent 16 billion, which is around 24 billion US dollar is spent. Okay, on electricity. If they judiciously use that money on electricity that time, okay, now Nigeria will have at least
half of the country will be like 24/7 electricity, stable all year round, all weather.
That's right. And if we can produce electricity today, I'm telling you, Nigeria GDP will grow. Nigeria economy will grow by minimum of 7.5.
I am wondering why that thing, something like that, cannot be practically put in place. And I feel like I'm just gonna run crazy if I keep wondering because I already know the why they won't do it. Like, why can't you do that where people will have access to create their own job, create wealth, and pay tax, more money to government, less crime, and you know, improve their GDP and the rest of that? Why not do that?
Yes. The reason, yes. Yes.
I'm with you, sir. Continue.
Hello? Yeah, you are right. That was a very brilliant question. The reason why they don't want to do it is this. You know, I said to you before, these people are arrogant and wicked. Okay? So what they are trying to do is that the poverty in Nigeria is deliberate. Okay? And poverty is not from God. Poverty is a man-made.
That's right.
So, and that is why I know many people don't talk to me. I like the service you did on Sunday. The sermon, I always call you my pastor now because I don't go to church
I'm
for
the
the past
chief priest, sir. I am the chief priest of this temple.
I don't go. That's right. I don't go to church for the past 20 years or 16 years now because I know you run the church you are. Okay? Religion is an opium of time. Okay? To enslave the others. Okay? Now, I will give you a very good example on that one. You look at China and India. They share border, the same populations. India rely on religions. Okay? You look at their GDP. Their GDP this year is around 2.1 trillion with a population of 1.4 billion people. Okay? Chinese, please, when you finish now, go and do research about Chinese. They don't even believe in any religion. They don't believe in any religion. Have you seen them anywhere in the world where they are? You see their temple? Have you seen their temple? No. The answer is no. Now, if you look at their GDP, it's around 60 trillion with a population of 1.3 billion people. Okay? Now, take Nigeria. Hello?
I'm with you, sir.
Are you listening to me?
Clearly.
Yeah, take Nigeria and Pakistan. Okay? Those are the people that run on religion. Okay? Look at Nigeria's life. Okay? Now, look at Nigeria's life. Immediately you get to Nigeria now, you will see hunger on the road. Now are we calling God stupid? Okay? So now people that they are going to, instead for them to now go and use their time to go and grow corn, grow maize, grow everything, they start sleeping in the church and the mosque. This is stupid.
Shouting, okay? I claim it, so, I claim it, I receive. At the end of the day, man.
That's right. And that is why even Bible said, or Yoruba people said, so and that is why when the Oduduwa nation formed, we're going to make sure we have a constitution, okay, a very good law to put, and I like the item, the national item we are putting on. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, now, this country of Nigeria has made everyone to become lazy. Every Nigerian is a lazy man. If you see any billionaire there, because Nigerian system is a patronage system. Right. Like you rightly said on Sunday.
System.
Yeah, like you rightly said on Sunday, you can become a millionaire today because that system allows you from fake. It's a fake system. Okay, it's a fake system. So I don't want to
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for allowing me.
Thank you so much for always being there.
But please, let us break this country. We break it. And if anybody is fooling himself that Nigeria will survive in the next 6 to 7 years' time, is deceiving himself. Okay?
God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sir Deolu, thank you so much, sir, for being the one that actually closed the program tonight. And I believe many of you actually enjoyed that. It was amazing. I mean, his presentation and all of that. His points, too. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, okay? I don't know what Thiefnubu is suffering from, but let me tell you something. Whatever he is suffering from, a very selfless person who is not greedy or selfish will take care of himself. Not on how he's going to lead another voyage of destruction. The one he led or joined is the one that is about to sink every one of them now. Now, he shouldn't be dreaming of leading another one. He should be taking care of himself. And trust me, you Lagos Abobakus, I don't think many of you have actually prepared for life after Thiefnubu. You have no idea that the house built with a card, or a house built with spitu. Now, ordinary dew go break them. I don't think many of you are prepared for the life after Thiefnubu when you don't even have an idea what he is suffering from.
you know, he probably will come back, you know, then you push him on his wheelchair, or you get to know that, if I say, Baba will need rest. Go on and gamble your future, okay? The one you did to yourself this time, maybe you can remedy it and don't join the bandwagon of another one, that will be, you know, I don't want to go there. But however, thank you so much for your time. My friends on YouTube, again, you maintained your 2,000 stream there, but only about 900 of us could, if in fact, give that thumb up. Listen, if you haven't really subscribed onto Maiyegun's Diary Political on YouTube, do it. It is pretty much safer there than what than what Facebook is doing to my platform. They deliberately cut me down so drastically. Now, if you have a chance of watching, some people will watch on YouTube, watch on Facebook at the same time, but don't forget to subscribe on there. At least, if you miss everywhere, you won't really miss on my YouTube. There's also one more request I want to make of all of you. Just before you go, can you do me a favor, right? And I'm going to share a link, okay? Can you do me a favor and go on to Diaspora Radio International YouTube page and give me a subscription on there. I just found out that we have actually been just at about 500. People paid to set up Diaspora Radio. They donated, supported me for that. How come I couldn't get many of them on to know what we are actually doing on Diaspora Radio YouTube? Check that link I just shared there. Click it, open it, and go on there. This is what it looks like. Let me share with you. On Diaspora Radio International UK, the YouTube channel, go on there and give a subscription and possibly a thumb up. Look around. It's class. And then by the time we bring all our content up, they will all be going on there as well. Do it for me, for my friends, and you. Thank you. And to everybody who joined me tonight, I'm going to say you all have a good evening and good night to you. He's another savior. Holy, holy, holy. 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 He's another savior.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádùn yẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gbà rìbá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í.